Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Spice and Wolf episode 7 reaction. So the previous episode, what happened was I think the whole arc ended over there, like because everything resolved itself pretty nicely by the end of it, Lawrence and Hollow were on the run and they sent people to get them and then Lawrence got stabbed almost, he was bleeding out. By the end of it, Hollow had to transform into a wolf form, taking Lawrence's blood, and she drove away everyone, including Yare, and yeah, by the end of it, everything was okay, but Hollow tried to leave. Lawrence stopped her, or attempted to stop her. It seemed like she left then and there, but later on we get to see that she didn't leave. She stayed there, protected Lawrence, brought him back, and then again it seemed like she left, but by the end of it, it's revealed that she didn't. She was just there, and it's probably like Lawrence, the way Lawrence tried to stop her, probably it made her not leave, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to keep following you unless and until I repay my debt." So that's how the whole thing went. So let's see what happens in today's episode, episode 7. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Stick it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Okay, so sheep and wolf. Right. Hmm. Interesting. Like seeing a shepherd, so like obviously Hollow's a wolf, so that'll be interesting if like I don't. I wonder how. Okay, let's see. Okay, Scale God and Sorcerer of the Grasslands. Bruh. Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's very soon. Oh no, she's talking about sheep. Wow. Apple pie, yeah. Hmm. Oh, there's someone. There's someone. Okay. I love her ears twitched immediately. Right. Person. Okay. What? Okay. Oh, that's why. I see. No, in no way. Yeah, she cannot go to the. Wow. Hmm. What? Ah, that's why. Hmm. Ruvenhagen? Oh, I see. Obviously, she's been alive for a long time. Right. Red hair. Hmm. Left arm was. Whoa. Oh, it was her. Oh God. Oh no. Bruh. What? Yeah. That's why they wrote okay hand. Right. Hmm. Yeah, obviously. Like um because his name has been okay, I'll talk about it later. Um oh. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Hmm. Hmm. Down. Okay. Probably. Raw wait. Ah. Pickled. Ah. She's like, wow. Oh no, your ears. Oh boy. Okay. Wow. Oh, I see. Oh my god. Okay. Oh no. She's like, let's do it quickly. Whatever we're supposed to do here. Right. Oh god. There we go. Saucer. Oh. Yeah. Oh god. Pepper. Okay. Yeah, from the sound, I think. Oh, the smell. Ah. I have faith in God. Right. Because these. Okay. Is he. Let's see if he tries to scam us. Okay. Oh. Okay, they're gonna do something to the scale. I think this guy's trying to scam us. This definitely weights in the underneath of the the pants or something. What if one Lumina gold coin for each one? Yeah. How much is it? Trainee. Yeah. One gold coin. Trainee. Right. Okay. Well, there you go. There's weights. Wait. Yep. There you go. Like I. Oh, so the table is. They didn't put any weight. The table is slanted. Ah. Wow. Or maybe the whole room is slanted. But. Yeah. Exactly. That's why he makes them drunk. Okay. Bruh. Yeah, a little bit of, you know. Oh my god, sorry about that. That was crazy. The thing that twice its worth on credit. Yeah, like I must suddenly like start speaking, outside. Memories are coming back to my head. High grade armor. Yeah, so it's going to increase later. Mm. Bro. Wow. Great. Mm. Nice. Wow. So wait, was the room slanted? Or was the table? So there's wait, so there's two layers to this deception, wasn't it? One is the wine and the other one was the slant frugality. Okay, one thing I need to say this. Up until now, was Lawrence getting scammed all the time? Like, two instances we saw that he was almost getting scammed, but Hollow helped him out. What was he doing up until now? Like, okay. Okay, is this then? Okay. Yeah. Wow. Roommate. Oh my god. Oil. Okay. Subtraction? Yeah, that is true. You would have gotten scammed two times. Not two times, but one time. Oh my god. She's. Oh god. There we go. Well. Hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. No. I see. That's why he took the armor. Oh. Jewel or gold? Hmm. Tariff. Okay. Oh. Right. Okay, so it's not really worth it for Lawrence. Get the seal of church card. Sacred gold. Damn. Yeah. So it's not profitable for Lawrence, at least. Yes, no. Um. Yeah. Damn. Oh, is that someone? Yeah. Oh, what happened? An accident? Merchants. She heard it. Detour. I feel like it'll be fine for us. We have the wise wolf with us. Yeah, let's go with the wolves. But Lawrence is like scared of wolves. So, yeah, I can talk to them. Okay. What's she eating? Hmm. Oh, oh, no, no, no. That the shepherd, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's a shepherd because they have like dogs with them, and they try to. Yep, the bell, I can hear it. Yep. Oh, really? The sorcerer is actually. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I thought they were different people or something. Oh, wait. Interesting. Some kind of signal? Oh. Oh, okay, okay. Then, all right. So she is a shepherd. Oh no. Okay. Right. Okay. Don't let your. I was like, come on. Like it's windy. Your hood is like if it goes down, it's over. The ears will pop out and bam. Oh boy. Hmm. Okay. And that was today's episode number 7. So today's episode was basically from us moving from one place to another. Like, we went to that place, Poro, I forgot the name, Poro something. To now we are on the way to Ruin Hagen or something like that. So it was just like the time between it, like from that place to that place. Also, we were able to get a little bit of a good amount of profit against that guy. He tried to trick us, but we were able to seize the initiative, and we were able to get a lot of a good bargain from him because of that whole incident. Because as we know, if this goes out, like he is a merchant, so his credibility will go down so low that people probably won't be like will try to avoid like buying stuff from him, and his whole business will go down. So he could not let Lawrence speak. So he was like, and Lawrence was like, yeah, you know what, I might stay drunk if you give me something good, or if you don't, then I might suddenly become sober, and who knows what's going to happen after that. Right. And that's why he was like, all right, fine, whatever, like, yeah. So that was good. Now, other than that, today's episode was basically like Hollow asking Lawrence for different stuff. For example, the first thing that she asks is like, oh, she's like, any good food? So Lawrence is like, yeah, like like they make pickled like pears, like apples with honey and everything. And Lawrence Hollow's like, damn, that sounds good. I bet it'll taste good as well. So she wants those stuff. But Lawrence says that it's a bit difficult to get their hands on that. But Lawrence is like, fine, I'll see, in Ruin Highgame and see what I can do about it. So that's the first thing, like, that Hollow wanted. Then after getting that good amount of profit, Hollow was like, buy me some oil. I need to, like, groom my tail and all that stuff. So Lawrence was like, at first Lawrence was like, oh, like, it's very expensive and all that. Like, it's crazy to see, like, so from the looks of it, I'm guessing this is obviously like back in the older days. From the looks of it, oil is extremely expensive here, isn't it? Like, for example, I think Lawrence says something later on where he implies that the amount of profit that he would make from the armor is enough for all, like, it's enough to, like, like, and like oil is enough to take that all out. So that is crazy to think about. I think he kind of mentions that when Lawrence Hollow was like, "Oh, you're going to make a lot of profit, won't you, with the armor?" And he's like, "Yeah, but that profit will be just, like all consumed because of that oil that you want, or something like that." He implied. So I'm guessing oil is very expensive. Otherwise, like, yeah. So I guess, like I said, it makes sense. Like, it's back in the older days, I'm guessing. So yeah, there was different, like like ranges of like what do you call it, like expensiveness, is that a word? Yeah, costliness, for different stuff, like stuff that nowadays is like okay and not that costly. Back in the days it was very costly, or stuff nowadays that are very costly might be cheaper back in the older days, like vice versa, something like that. Either way, yeah. So that's the second thing that Hollow wanted. And Lawrence, by the end of it, Lawrence was like, all right, fine, whatever. I love whenever, like, like Lawrence tries to be like, oh no, like, definitely not, I cannot do this, it's too expensive. And then he, like, brings up his debt, like, Hollow's debt to him. Hollow is like, kind of, is like, okay then, like, fine. Kind of starts, like, kind of, what do you call it? Like, a little bit of a emotional, like, like thing she starts. And by the end of it, Lawrence is like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, I remember back on one of the previous episodes as well, Hollow did that when, I think, like, which episode was it? When he was rescuing Hollow. Like, I think Lawrence says something and Hollow's like, like all teary eyed. And Lawrence is like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean it like that. And then she's all smiles again. Right. Boy. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So all that stuff happens, and obviously the main highlight of today's episode was basically that Shepherd. So as we know, obviously, like we were saying, the shepherd, being a shepherd, I'm guessing obviously she has to take care of her sheep. She has a dog with her as well. So I'm guessing the nature of her work is obviously driving away wolves. That's why she's there. And that is why Hollow says that she's my natural enemy, because she's a wolf. That's why I'm guessing she calls her the natural enemy. Now, there was a kind of a misunderstanding. For a moment, I thought, when Lawrence was like, oh, she's a sorcerer or something like that. I was like, wait, so she is the shepherd and she's also a sorcerer. But then I realized when Lawrence said, like, no, that signal that I did, there's a signal for like shepherd. So I know that she's not a sorcerer. She's a shepherd. So I'm like, oh, okay, that I see. So yeah, that was like, she's not the sorcerer then, right? So yeah, and now we have met her, and I was thinking, will she like realize, or not her, but maybe her dog? Will the dog detect that Hollow is a wolf or something? I'm just thinking, because like animals have like a keen sense. Even if she's not able to understand, maybe her dog will understand that Hollow's a wolf or something, and like if the dog is cautious towards Hollow, then yeah, I feel like that'll be a big giveaway, and the shepherd will probably realize something's up. So I don't know. Let's wait and see. You know, there's I feel like there's like a 70% chance the dog will not realize, but I feel like there's like a very slight chance the dog might realize that Hollow is like a wolf or something, or I don't know. Yeah. Let's wait and see. Um. Okay. So yeah, that was basically to the okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about. So the whole trick that the merchant tried to do, the way he tried to trick us. So was that like a double layered trick that he was playing? First, the thing, the table, it was slanted, wasn't it? Either the table or the room. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. And that is why it was like such a small little, like a slope, that through like plain eyes you cannot like really realize what's going on. So they didn't realize it, or Lawrence didn't realize it. Hollow realized, I think. But what Hollow does is, like, when she drops the thing, the mug, where inside apparently it was water in it. Obviously, it wasn't water, as we got to know, I think. So yeah. So wait. So the first trick was the slope of either the table or the room, and was the second leg to the trick is like getting them drunk so that they don't realize that they're getting tricked. Is that what's that's why he like replaced wine with water or water with wine or something? Okay, you know what? I need to check that part, because I feel like, for example, here Hollow suddenly says, "Oh, I feel a bit dizzy. It seems my vision has suddenly tilted one way." Yeah, obviously that was a big hint that the whole room was tilted. And she drops the beaker. Wine starts dropping, and and she's like, "Oh, it seems like I'm still a bit dizzy. Look, as you can see, everyone in front of me is leaning to one side. There you go. And it's pretty obvious. The wine is just like dropping like in one side. So yeah, and it keep going and drops from the other side. So it's an evident slope. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So now that was the first one, and then she says that was the first trick. Now, did I drink water or wine? So I must have consumed wine. Is that not right? They said that the livelier the tavern, the less the tavern owner drinks. Yeah. I see. So it seems that being the only sober person in the room is a key to successful business. Now here's the thing. You know why I'm so like suspicious? Like, why I'm thinking maybe I'm missing something? This whole plan for this merchant was full of loopholes, wasn't it? Number one, like, I don't understand one thing. Water and wine. Like, Hollow wanted water. He gave her wine. I'm sure he has done this to other people as well to trick them. Does nobody understand the difference between water and wine? I feel like if someone takes one swig, immediately they realize that it's wine, and they'll be like, "Oh, you what the hell? You gave me water. I asked water, you gave me wine. Why? Wouldn't that like bring the whole thing down? I don't understand like how like what. That's the number one thing I don't understand. Number two thing is that how did this guy think it was a good idea to give Hollow wine and Lawrence is not drinking anything? Like, did he not realize that? Like, I don't understand that part as well. Like, shouldn't he make both of them get drunk so that he can scam them? Wasn't there a faint possibility that Lawrence would realize that the place is tilted? Like these are the two things that is bothering me, and that is why I thought maybe I'm missing something and I'm not understanding something. Let me know if I'm really missing something or not, because these two things like a huge flaw in this guy's plan. Number one is like if someone asks water, if you give them wine, wouldn't they immediately understand? Like and then the whole ruse is up then. So what like is this what he has been doing up until now? Why hasn't he been caught up until now then? And number two is like there's a slight possibility that Lawrence would realize. So the fact that he did nothing for that and he just let Lawrence be sober and tried to make Hollow drunk, I don't understand the logic behind that. Like, what's the point if one of them gets drunk and the other one is sober? Like, these two are the things that are bothering me, and I feel like this is probably just a bad plan on the merchant's side, or something like that. But he's a merchant; he should have a foolproof plan, shouldn't he? Is this how he has been tricking people up until now? Why didn't he get caught then? This is one of the most sloppiest way of trying to trick someone, I feel like. I don't know. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'm missing something. Something's going over my head. And maybe there's something that I'm not understanding. But to me, this plan seems very bad. The way he tried to trick them is full of loopholes. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Either way, so yeah, obviously Lawrence kind of not threatens him, but kind of is like, you know what? I'm a bit drunk now. Maybe I'll stay this way, unless I suddenly become sober. So you should, like, and like drunk people make unreasonable demands. I sure hope you listen to my unreasonable demands. Otherwise, I might suddenly become sober, and yeah, that'll be a problem. I feel like. So yeah, like so, and then that's how he got the whole thing. Another thing I want to mention, like Lawrence is a merchant. Like I like what is this episode 7? I think this is the second time he like was held by Hollow in this whole merchant business. What has he been doing up until now? Is he like he would have gotten scammed here, wouldn't he, if Hollow wasn't here? Is this what's happening? Is this how he like, does he always get scammed like this? Like up until now he was alone. So like I'm trying to think like within these few days there were two instances. One instance is where Hollow was able to like one instance wasn't really a scam. In that whole thing where Hollow made the apple scent in the fur, that thing, that wasn't really a scam, but that was how Hollow was able to scam the other merchant. So that wasn't a scam towards Lawrence, but that was a good opportunity that we were able to get because Hollow had like a quick wit in that type of situation. So that's not a scam, but that's like a thing. But this is definitely a scam. He would have gotten scammed here if Hollow wasn't here, wouldn't he? So I'm just trying to think like did up until now, I'm sure he got scammed like this before and he didn't even realize or something. Because it's just crazy to see because I don't know, like I thought that the scam today would be like weights in one of the the plates or something. Like one of the plate would be of a different material, that's why it would be like a little bit weighty. But I feel like that would have completely given away, because if one pan was weighty then it would like already be a little bit tilted. So that wasn't the whole plan. The plan was the whole room would be tilted, or like the table will be tilted. Yeah, but either way, I'm just thinking up until now, before he met Hollow, I'm sure he got scammed like this before, and he didn't even realize it. But yeah, like I feel like he might be smart. Like he's definitely smart in like in regards to like like economics and stuff, like how to make your money work, how to like earn more money, make more profit. For example, he has a very good understanding of what to invest in and what to like what to get instead of money, so that later on it'll increase in price. Because we saw before that he brought spice no pepper, he brought pepper because he was like, yeah, now that winter is coming, people will use pepper a lot for the chicken and stuff, so it's going to increase in so that's why he got pepper. And now he got armor because now he's going to his ruin high then this ruin Heigen, yeah. And there, there's the center of expedition and everything. A lot of people will gonna buy armor over there, and the time is very good as well. Price of armor will increase. That's why he got armor here. So in that regards, he's very smart. Obviously, he knows how to invest his money and properly make use of it to gain a bigger profit. But I feel like in regards to these type of things, like getting scammed and stuff, I think he's just he probably, I don't know, because it's so interesting, because Hollow literally saved him again in this type of situation. And I'm just thinking, up until when Hollow wasn't with him, what was he doing? Was he always getting scammed or something? But anyways, it's pretty obvious that he's very smart in regards to how to make use of his money and how to properly invest it. But I feel like he's probably vulnerable towards stuff like this, where he might get scammed, or he doesn't know how to make use of an opportunity, like this. In terms of deception, trickery, I feel like Hollow's way smarter than him and can make use of an opportunity in such a better way to gain more money out of it. But obviously, in regards to what to invest money in and the business part, Lawrence is the wittier one. So yeah, I feel like that complements each other very much, and that's why both Hollow and Lawrence are able to make good amounts of money in types of situation like this. Lawrence uses her business mind, and Hollow uses her minds, her brain in stuff like deception, or trying to not get scammed, stuff like this. Okay. And yeah, I guess it makes sense because as they say, cunning, cunning like a fox. No, that's cunning like a fox, not a wolf. Never mind. I was gonna say it makes sense because Hollow is a wolf, but yeah, I think they say cunning as a fox, or as not. No, wolves are also cunning, aren't they? Yeah, like fox and wolves both are extremely cunning, so it makes sense how Hollow is this, like like very can use certain opportunities like this in such a great way to completely trick the other party and get the most out of it. Right. Okay, and that was today's episode. Great episode. And yeah, let's see. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see the scene with the shepherd. So the shepherd is, that I don't know what that was, like a little thing, just blowing it, and the conch. No, that's not a conch. What is that? I forgot the name. It has a particular term for it. So blowhorn, is that what it's called? I'm not really sure. Anyways, she's doing it, and the sheeps are coming, and I'm guessing that was also a way to make the wolves go away, because we saw there was eyes in the forest behind the trees. Wolves were all just looking at the sheep, and she comes in and she blows the horn, and the wolves scatter away. And yeah, so there you go. That's how the whole thing starts, and then we are back with Lawrence and Hollow. So they're going towards a town, and you can see Hollow is kind of grooming her tail with the comb that Lawrence bought her. Right, and she's like, oh, I'm so hungry. Lawrence is like, you just ate some bread, what the hell? And she, Lawrence is like, ah, if you try to feed you feed you completely every single time, I'm gonna get bankrupt. So it's kind of difficult. Anyway, so they, typical banter. Like Lawrence is talking to Hollow. Hollow's kind of talking back, and Lawrence is and the typical banter between those two. It's what's happening. Then Hollow goes and sits beside Lawrence, and she asks how long until the next town? Should be beyond the hill. Okay, so Hollow here says, I want to eat a fresh and bloody cow or sheep. And I was thinking like, oh my god, we just saw sheep a few moments ago. Yeah. So okay, so here Hollow talks about apple pies. She's like, damn, it's a very innovative way to eat, like apples. And she definitely loved it, and she's like, I want to eat more stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like it's very interesting because I feel like characters like her who are like a like a deity of nature or whatever, they would more prefer stuff in the natural way, but she loves like processed food, doesn't she? Especially if it's made of something which she likes, like apples and stuff. Like usually in any animes I've seen, like like characters like her who are like a divinity of nature, or like people like elves and stuff, who are more attuned to nature, connected to nature, they prefer like actual natural like apple, or like in a natural form, other than processed stuff, you know but she just loves anything that is related to the food that she loves. So she loves apples, so she's like, apple pies are great. And yeah, and Lawrence is like, I hope you understand that the processing fee for making that apple pie is also quite expensive. So you cannot just eat apple pie all day. It'll strain our economy, our money. Anyways, they were having this conversation. Hollow suddenly puts on her hood. There was someone there who was coming, and yeah, and then we get to see Poroson. So Poroson is this place where we'll make a little bit of a just stay there for a bit. So this place is a lot of like people talking about like God, and there's like the church, people talking about their faith. Um, Not enough food stores. Obviously, Hollow is not happy about that. Hollow's like, this place is boring. Like, what the hell? Lawrence tells her to go and like listen to the church, like people preaching in the church. And Lawrence is like, hopefully, they teach you about frugality, because staying with you is very expensive. And you literally like, right. And anyways, so here they talk about the next town, which is Rubenhagen. Okay, so here Hall's like, wait, Rubenhagen? I feel like I've heard that name before, but it wasn't the name of a town. It was the name of a person. So obviously, usually in these type of situations, we know like towns. Sometimes they are named after like a certain person who did some kind of a heroic deed or something. So it was one of them people. So Hollow. Okay, Lawrence is like, oh, you're not wrong. The city was named after the Holy Crusader Saint Rubenhagen, who fought against the pagans. And Hollow's like, yeah, the person who had long flaming red hair and a beard. And who always had a very austere expression. And says like, yeah, I believe that's how the saint is recorded. It's also said, left arm was bitten off while fighting against the pagan god. Hollow's like, come on, I didn't bite off his arm, I just bit his ass. Lawrence is like, what? So that's when he realizes. So basically, the pagan god that this guy fought is Hollow. So basically, what happened was, as Hollow says, that he got pissed off, or he got very angry when he saw Hollow's tail and ears, and started calling her like a pagan god or some kind of a witch or something, and tried to attack her. So she got mad and she bit off his ass. Or bit it, and she says it was fibery. I don't like the taste, and it's hilarious because Lawrence is like, oh, that is why they said they tweaked the history a little bit, because it'll be kind of embarrassing to write that he was bitten in the hand. That's why they changed the history and said that, oh, his hand was bitten off. Oh God, that is crazy. Right. You know what? I understand, like who would want their name in history to go down like this? Like fought the pagan god, got his ass bitten. Yeah, that'll be a bit embarrassing, I feel like if something like that was written in history, like the younger generation who would read that in the history lessons, they'd always break out into laughter. They'd be like, "What the hell?" I can envision that happening, and yeah, so it makes sense, right? Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, so after that, Hollow's like, all right, like she's like, they'll go out to Lawrence will do his business. So Hollow's like, wait a minute, like takes on a disguise of like a village girl, and then they are off. Okay, so Lawrence is like, we'll head to Rubenhagen after we sell this pepper to the Lathopyron Trading Company. So they're off, and okay, so Hollow, while on the way, he asks like in Rubenhagen, are there food stalls? Is there apples and other fruits like pears and stuff? And Lawrence says like, yeah, you will get them, but in a bit of a different way. They're pickled because winter is coming. And okay, so here Lawrence gives like a whole description of how they pickle the food, how they like not only obviously the apple, the pear, and all the other stuff as well. And he kind of explains how it's very tasty, like how they use honey and everything, the whole description he gives. And he says like, I had an opportunity to eat it once, but it was so sweet the church debated from and banned it. No, debated banning it. So it's a bit difficult to get our hands on that. Hollow, Hollow's like, I want that. So when Lawrence kind of shows like, oh, maybe not, maybe we won't be able to get it. Like it's a bit difficult to get your hands on. Hollow shows that sad face again, and Lawrence is like, okay, fine, I'll see if I can get my hands on it. You know, and there you go. And Lawrence is Hollow's like now like, oh, like like we need to quickly go there. Like there's this peaches and honey we speak of. Like it might get like sold out or something. So anyways, so all that aside, they go to the person who they're going to do the business with, who are going to sell the pepper to. And okay, so the guy tells him that they found a sorcerer living among that could control wolves near Rubenhagen. Okay, and like talking about all of that stuff, and like anyways, Lawrence is like yawning, but then they decide to move on with um uh the business, so the guy asks, do you have a scale? Obviously that way you cannot blame him that, oh, the scale is tweaked. That's why he asks if you have a scale. Lawrence is like, no, I don't have. So there you go. He's like, I'm going to bring one. Yeah, he says, no, I don't have any scales. However, I have faith in God. You know. So he brings in the scale, and you can see like Hollow is like kind of looking at it, and Hollow says like, okay, so here's the thing. I think Hollow realized immediately the room is tilted, and it's kind of or the table is tilted, either of it. So he kind of like tugs in Lawrence, and she's like, I'm thirsty. So she asks for water because she knew she was going to use it to show place is tilted. It's going to like drop it somehow, and it's going to bring the tilt will bring the water down. That's how they're going to prove it. Now here's the thing. I think Hollow also didn't realize or didn't expect the guy to bring in wine, or like to make her drunk. She said like water, and the guy brought out wine to so that like he can be the only one sober there. And yeah, but like I said, I feel like this was a very bad plan because Lawrence didn't drink at all. Like, so what was the point of trying to make the one person drunk? Anyways, but yeah, that was his plan. So he brought wine in, and I think Hollow didn't really expect that as well. So Hollow then probably realized that not only is the place tilted, he's trying to make us drunk so we don't understand, or it doesn't properly register in our head, and he can scam us. So that's what happened. So okay, now but I'm pretty sure Laura Hollow asks for water here just so that she could prove this place is tilted. Either way, she asks for water, and the guy's like, oh, you want water or wine? Which one do you want? And she's like, water. And he's like, okay, I'll bring it. So he brings in water, and so, and Hollow is keeping an eye on the scale and drinking the thing. Okay, so the weigh the thing, Pepper is equal to 45 weights, and so he's like, okay, I can pay 1 coin here, 1 gold coin. And he's like, okay, what is the valuation? He says something like 32 and a half Rennie coins or something, silver coins. So like that's how it's going to go. So they like exchange like the documents and everything, and he's like, oh, everything is fine, don't worry about it. Right. So Lawrence in the end is like, okay, shake hands. Here's where Hollow starts her whole thing. She's like, oh my god, I'm dizzy and everything, like she gets up, she starts like wobbling, and then she just drops the thing. The wine drops out. Okay, and it starts falling in one direction. And she's like, oh, I feel like so dizzy that I feel like the whole place is tilted. What's going on with me? Right. Anyways, so yeah, and now the merchant is like, oh no, I'm screwed. So yeah, so Hollow and Lawrence are like, Hollow's like, oh, it seems like I've consumed wine. I do wonder why. And that's where Lawrence says like, oh, it's so that in tavern, usually in a tavern, only the tavern owner keeps himself sober and everyone else gets drunk. So it's kind of the same strategy. He was trying to pull the wool over us, So yeah, and then Lawrence starts his whole thing. He's like, yeah, like since we are drunk here, the things can stay over here, but drunk people have ways of making unreasonable requests. I hope you will listen to them. Otherwise, I might suddenly become sober, and that might be a problem. At first, he kind of like, he's like, oh no, like but then when Lawrence is like, I might suddenly become sober, he gives in and he's like, fine, whatever. So he's like, what do you want? So okay, few things that he says. Here we go. We receive what we deserve after the paper is properly weighted, and let's see, how about allowing me to buy twice its worth on credit? Twice its worth. Damn. That's 100% loss, isn't it? Good lord. Right. So he's like, oh my god, that's too much. But then obviously Lawrence is like, you might try not to, piss me off, I might suddenly get sober. In the end, Lawrence says like, the product that I want is high grade armor. So like, and his plan is to sell them to Rinhagen. And he's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll show you like a place to buy armor. I have people who I know. This part is funny. Hollow's like, oh, I feel like I'm also getting sober, Some high quality wine and dried sheep meat would suffice to please me. So this was Lawrence's demand, and now Hollow's demand is this. So he's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll show you the way to a good place. You can get stuff from there. Take as much as you want. So yeah, there you go. Everything worked out, Right. Okay, so that's that. And then after the whole negotiation, Lawrence comes out. He hears someone saying something. This person is preaching. He's saying, I heard while I was traveling north, the town that worshipped a pagan wolven god says something. He says something here. They don't. Okay, so I'm guessing this is whatever town he's mentioning here is probably Lord Hollow's hometown, because they say that he said that like a village worshipping a pagan wolf god or something like that. He said. So obviously that pagan god is definitely Hollow, as we got to know, and the village that worships her would probably mean her hometown, wouldn't it? So I think this guy told the name, and Lawrence was able to get to know what name is Hollow's hometown, but they don't tell it to us now at least. Right. Okay. Anyways, after that, Hollow comes back and Hollow has eaten a lot, or drunk a lot. She's very happy and she's like, okay, let me groom my tail. So then suddenly, when Lawrence was like, okay, fine, whatever. Hollow comes in and she's like, can I get oil? In the next town. And she's like, it's good for maintaining my tail. And she does the whole, just, that the cutesy face she makes, and she's just like, can I please get it? Like that. And Lawrence is like, no, you already have a lot of debt to me. Like you're just, like in no way am I allowing you that. And Hollow then brings up that, you know what, I agree, but you were also able to make a lot of profit because of me. And then she's like, will you buy the oil? And Lawrence is like, come on, like you have a lot of debt to me. Like, what are you on about? You want to increase the debt? And then Hollow's like, okay, fine, like I'll try to repay the debt as soon as possible. Then I'll leave, to my hometown. I hope Paro and Muri are doing well. Lawrence is like, oh my god. He's like, fine, there isn't a deadline for your debt. So yeah, you can give me the money whenever you want to. And then she's like, so can I get the oil? And then Lawrence is like, fine, whatever. Anyways, so after that, the next day they're on their way again towards Ruin Hyen. And they talk about, like, Hollow talks about the armor and how he tells like how Ruin Hyen is like the center of like expedition and everything. So like they can sell the armor there for a good profit. And then he kind of takes a jab at Hollow and says like, the profit should be enough to afford your oil at least. So he talks about like spices, how spices are good as well, like for that, for business and all that stuff. So they also talk about like gold and jewels, and Hollow asks why are those not profitable. So he says because of the tariff, and he says how the church and like a few people have like a monopoly on that, and like that is why people like us, if we bring in gold, it's going to be not profitable at all. They have like a whole monopoly on them. Okay, only merchants who have connections with the church are allowed to import gold. There you go. They get to pay a much lower tariff than the others. Also, there's another thing he says. They can get the seal of the church carved into the gold at Ruin Hyen's holy cathedral. And it increases the value. The gold becomes sacred gold and it rises a ridiculous amount of price, almost 10 times. So it's not really worth it for us. So we do stuff like this, like bring in armor and stuff. It's all well and good for us. Like gold isn't really profitable. And Hollow says like, what about smuggling them? But he's like, nah, you know what, it's not worth it. And he also says like, if you can join the secret circle, you'd be able to sell it 10 times higher than it's usually worth. If you get caught smuggling it, you'll lose your dominant arm at the very least. Yeah, so anyways, all that stuff, and then Hollow says like, oh, there's people in front of them, so she puts on her hood. Lawrence goes and sees what's going on, comes back, and Lawrence says, the problem. Mercenary troops from the north are moving southwards, and there is a detour. However, in that detour, Hollow says there's a detour, but it's filled with wandering wolves. Top of that, rumors of pagan sorcerer that can summon wolves. So yeah, there you go. So they're like, let's go from there, because Hollow has a better chance of at least talking to the wolves. And like for the mercenaries, she cannot do anything. For the wolves, at least she can talk to them and tell them to back down. So there you go. So they move forward. Hollow's like, I cannot really sense any wolf. Like they're moving forward, but then she realizes, but I can sense something else. One of my sworn enemies, and it's the shepherd. And she looks forward, and then there's the shepherd, and she's there ringing her bell, And at first Lawrence thinks like, oh wait, is this like a shepherd or is this like the sorcerer? And then when he does the arm thing, the signal, she responds back, and Lawrence is like, okay, I've confirmed it, she's a shepherd. That's a signal for, like, like, it's a ritual used when meeting a shepherd. Now I'm sure that person isn't a sorcerer. So there you go. So they go down, and like, and he goes, and I think he didn't realize that the shepherd was a woman. Like, so he goes down and he's like, oh, hello there, like, I'm on my way, and this is my companion Hollow. I'm sure that God has brought us together. If you're a good shepherd, I know you will teach us appropriately. And she smiles, takes off her hood, and this is where Lawrence realizes she's a woman, and Hollow's not happy about it, and something like that. Okay, so that's where it ended. So here we go. Now, in the end, like I said, I'm guessing the reason why Hollow doesn't like shepherds is because, I'm assuming, since they drive away wolves, is that why? Otherwise, I don't see any reason for her not liking shepherds. That just isn't that. I feel like that's the sole reason, isn't it? That since that's what shepherds do, they keep their flock towards themselves, to them, protects the flock, and drives away the wolves and leads them. So that is why, I'm guessing she doesn't like shepherds. Something like that, I'm guessing. But yeah, anyways, and that is where it ended. Really good episode, and yeah, let's see how this proceeds. So that is it. That was my reaction to today's episode number 7 of Spice and Wolf. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next week with another video. So until then, goodbye and have a nice day.